Welcome to the series of tutorials for Metric AB. I'm Mark Adamo from Adapter Audio, and in this one, we're taking a deep dive into the world of loudness matching. We'll discuss the whys, the whens, and the all-important hows. Loudness matching helps us make better decisions about our mix by leveling the volumes of our mix with our reference tracks. When there is a big difference in volume between the two tracks, psychologically, we tend to favor the loudest mix, even if it is not the better mix. So, to help us make better decisions, we need to match the loudness of our mix with the reference track. Once we remove the distraction of loudness, it helps us focus on the tonal balance of the mix, and things like compression and dynamics are more easily heard and understood. This leads us to better insights into where our mix needs to go and to get to the finish line. Metric AB has a very comprehensive set of loudness matching tools, which are designed for every conceivable workflow. And now in version 1.5, we can toggle the output meter and swap it for an LUFs meter to keep track of loudness levels no matter which analysis page we are using. To do it, toggle the peak RMS text on the output meter and it will switch to a loudness metering. And now we can see three types of loudness meters: integrated, short-term, and momentary. Integrated is the sum total of the whole audio track and is used by streaming platforms to normalize the volume for playlists. So that's an important one. Short-term is the loudness equivalent of RMS, and momentary is equivalent to peak energy. So now many mix engineers use these three alongside the traditional peak and RMS to monitor the levels. And just like the gain meter, we can toggle the meter scale and it switches to high resolution mode, displaying between 0 and -18 LUFs. So now we know that we want to level match our reference tracks with our mix. Let's find out how to do it all with Metric AB. For most mixing scenarios, matching the reference track to your mix is the best option. This is because our reference tracks tend to be mastered, so they are usually louder than our mix in progress and already peaking closer to 0 dB. And since our mixes are more dynamic, we don't want to increase the gain of the mix to match the master and risk clipping the peaks. So let's have a look at how this works. The match buttons are located under the main output mixer. The one on the left side is for matching a single track, while the right side button is for matching all the tracks at the same time. Let's right click on the button, select the mode, and then when we release the mouse click, it will start the matching process. To get an accurate loudness match, make sure both streams are playing. We need audio from our mix and a reference track to check the difference and apply the correct amount of gain change to get the levels balanced. If you don't, then you will see an error message saying loudness matching has failed, and you don't want to waste your time by doing it all over again. When we right click on the button, we can see that there are several matching modes. So this is how we select a mode and activate loudness matching at the same time. Once you've selected the mode, the next time we want to use it, we can just click the button instead. We can also use the individual track match button found on the playlist page, and this will use the currently selected mode to do the matching. The advantage of doing it here is that we can also see the gain change applied to the reference track, and if it's not quite perfect, we can also edit it manually to get the perfect match. Once the two tracks are balanced, we've leveled the playing field and we can concentrate on the tone, the spectral balance, and the sound of the compression and other factors that are harder to figure out when there is a big difference in the volumes. So what about the other modes then? We can also match A to B if required. This is useful when mastering because we can load our pre-master as a reference using sync playback mode, and then AB with our live mastering session. Sync mode lines up the tracks perfectly so we can AB the exact same position, and loudness matching will eliminate the difference in volume so we can concentrate on what the EQs, compressors, limiting, and stereo image processors are doing. With this workflow, toggling the AB button works like bypassing the whole effects processing chain with one click, so we can instantly tell if our master is going in the direction we want it to go. Here's another scenario. If we have a bunch of different tracks, some masters, some pre-masters, all different volume levels, then we got you covered with match to the quietest track. This mode finds the quietest track in the selection, including the A stream, and matches all the other tracks to it. This gives us the maximum amount of headroom all around. Another useful match mode is match to LUFs value. By default, this value is set to -14 LUFs. But we can edit this value on the settings page to anything we like. -14 is useful because it is the standard for streaming platforms like YouTube and Spotify. We can use this mode alongside the Match All option on the right side button to simulate what our track will sound like when normalized for streaming. Match All is found on the right hand side under the main output meter, and it's the button with 2 speakers. When we use Match All to loudness target, all the reference tracks will be normalized to -14 LUFS along with our mix. So now when we compare any of the reference tracks with ours, we can hear how they will sound in a streaming playlist. Now is a good time to point out that when a track is loaded, it displays the integrated LUFS value over here on the right hand side, along with other info like file format, MP3, WAV, etc., sample rate, bit rate, time, and finally the integrated LUFS value, which is the value that streaming platforms will use to do their normalization. When we use Match All, this is the LUFS value Metric will use to do its normalization, so it's on par with how streaming platforms do it. Anytime we want to hear the original volumes again, we can reset the gains by selecting Reset All Gains from the Match All menu, and recall it back by selecting the menu item again. So we've covered a bunch of different scenarios and workflows, matching single tracks when mixing, matching pre-masters for mastering with instant bypass for the whole effects rack, matching all the reference tracks at once, and matching to -14 LUFs for previewing our tracks on streaming platforms and playlists. If you have questions or want to know more about anything, then please leave them in the comment section. And check out our other deep dives in the series, working with the filter bank, using the sync mode, and all the new features available in Metric AB version 1.5. Download it now, and until the next one, happy mixing.